Good evening. Welcome to the Tooele City Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. We will start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd all please rise and say the pledge with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll do our roll call. We want to excuse Commissioners Hammer and Dunn and Councilmember Manzione. Commissioner Gossett.
Here.
Commissioner Proctor.
Here.
Commissioner Sloan.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton. Here. Commissioner Jensen.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
I'm Commissioner Robinson, and I too am here. We recognize Mr. Hanson, Ms. Fairborn, Mr. Page, and Mr. Agard. Oh, and Councilmember Ed Hanson also. Next on the agenda, public hearing and recommendation for a zoning map amendment requested by Grow Development at 249 East, 1000 North. Mr. Agard.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a zoning map amendment application for property that you are familiar with. They came through the process to do a land use map amendment a few weeks back. It involves the 11.7 acre parcel highlighted in red on your aerial photograph. You'll note that most of the land surrounding the property is undeveloped. There is the Our House assisted living facility located there to the southeast, and then the fire station number 3 is located to the west. The remaining property is not developed ground. The current zoning of the property is RR5, which is residential, 5 acre lots per each dwelling unit. It's basically a rural residential zone. I like to refer to it as a holding zone. It was a zoning district that was placed here prior to the city really knowing what they wanted in the area. So rural residential was never the intention, but that was the zoning that was attached until future plans. There is a sliver of light industrial located on the west side. I don't know why that is the case, but it is there. In regards to the RR5 residential zoning district, I want to just describe to you what that is. As I mentioned, it is a holding zone, but it does allow certain uses. In the RR5 zone, single-family residential homes are permitted, as well as accessory dwelling units and accessory buildings, such as barns, sheds, and so forth. You can operate some businesses in the zone. You can operate an agriculture, horticulture, livestock production facility. Churches and religious facilities can go in that zone. Home occupations, schools, parks, and golf courses, and residential facilities for elderly and disabled individuals, as well as a nursery and a greenhouse. These are all, as you can probably tell, low-key uses with kind of an emphasis on agriculture and low-impact residential uses. So that's what we currently have there on the property. The land use for the property is light industrial. It was recently amended by the City Council. The applicant is requesting to change the zoning to the light industrial zoning district. And I just want to emphasize this is not the industrials district. This is light industrial. And just to give you an idea of what the light industrial zoning district will permit, this is not the entire list of uses as contained in the table of commercial uses, but it's a pretty good synopsis of what you could see in the light industrial zone. You could have automobile sales, repair, service, and auto body repair, business and professional offices, convenience stores, gasoline stations, and other retail type establishments. You could see restaurants, fast food services, and financial services such as a bank or a credit union. You could have a healthcare provider, healthcare facility, and a health club. Hotels, laundromats, kennels, and cannabis pharmacies, personal services, private clubs, also a bar, and a reception center, recycling collection center, and a recreation facility, outdoor theater and utility services, veterinary clinic and animal hospital, a warehouse, and a personal storage facility. What the light industrial zone does not permit are heavy industrial uses that would create impacts in terms of noise, vibration, dust, glare, other impacts to adjacent properties. So the light industrial is not industrial, even though it's called light industrial, if that makes sense. It is really more of a heavy commercial, but it caters to uses that don't generate significant impacts to surrounding properties. I wanted to throw this up there for the Planning Commission's reference. This is a snippet from our master transportation plan. The subject property is highlighted in purple, and you can see where the fire station is. And then you can note the dashed blue line extending down between the fire station and the subject property. The master transportation plan is the document we use to determine where roads are going to go through the city as development occurs. The dotted line, the dashed line where it ends, is in the Western Acres development. And right now, Western Acres is currently constructing the road to the south, and eventually it will connect into 1000 North where this plan indicates. With this development coming in, there will be a possibility to have a portion of that road constructed, as the ordinance does require development to install the right-of-way improvements plus 30 feet of asphalt. So this does help facilitate the transportation master plan. This item does require a public hearing. Notices were sent out to adjacent property owners. We have not received any comments in regards to this application. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. The applicant does have a brief slide presentation that I believe they would like to present to the commission. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide if you want to hear it now or after the public hearing. But if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you, Andrew. Any questions for staff by the commission? Okay, and if it's okay, I'd just as soon have the public hearing first and then close that, and then we can have the presentation by the applicant like we've hitherto done. Everybody good with that? Okay. That being said, we'll have the public hearing for this item. If there's anyone from the public that wants to come forward and address this item, now is the time to do so. And seeing no rush for the pulpit, we will close the public hearing, and if the applicant wants to come forward and give us their spiel, we will now hear it.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Jay Cohn with Grow Development. Happy to be back in front of you again tonight. We obviously are going through the process now on doing the rezone and then in preparation for preliminary plat. Our intent, as Sharon here, is to do a light industrial project where we will have multiple uses. We've got a couple concepts right now that obviously will solidify when we come to preliminary plat. But the frontage along 1000 North, our intention to have is office type buildings, medical office, dental office type things. We've been in contact with a few potential users since the land use amendment was approved, and had some pretty good appetite for some users to go in there. So that's the first use. Then moving back, more of a flex warehouse type product, and I'll show you some of those here along the way. Again, this is kind of the first rendition of the concept plan, where, like I said, along 1000 North, we would do some office type buildings, and then as we go back further, some flex warehouse type buildings. These are some examples of that flex warehouse type product. Again, allowing for a nice, almost retail-like feel storefront on the front of the buildings, where they can have their showrooms, they can be, multiple different types of users. And then in the back, they would have garage bays into their warehouse type areas where they may be storing materials. They may be doing some light manufacturing of assembly and things like that. And so you'll get your Amazon shops, you'll get a dance studio, you'll get, as shown here, window group, all different types of diversity of businesses. This is another product where, again, block building construction does have some garage bays on the back, a little bit more office type frontage as you're seeing here along the frontage of the road. This is a project down in Payson, Utah. Same type of product, but more of a modern twist. So you'll see the different elements, different materials, trying to have it, like I said, be that a little bit more modern, contemporary type product. These are your interior spaces of some of those units. As you can see, large, open kind of warehouse type area, higher ceiling heights, the ability to utilize them for a lot of different uses. This is a really cool diagram of a project we've been watching pretty closely out in Riverton and the Bluffdale area. I think it is actually a Bluffdale address. But you can see just all the different types, cabinet company, fabric company, boxing gym, virtual golf club, e-bikes, gymnastics, appliance group. So again, it's really unique, catering to the small business entrepreneur type businesses, and that's really our hope for here. And as I stated in the previous meeting, we will be offering a lot of these for sale. We will be keeping some of these for rent, and so it'll allow those business owners to take part in the real estate ownership. The last thing is that frontage along 1000 North. We would like to have kind of like a two-story type building, likely medical office, may have some other type of office type users and businesses in there, anywhere from the 10 to 20,000 square foot in building size along that 1000 North. Lastly, we actually do have a new concept that we've been working on. Based on the feedback from council and commission, we've reoriented the buildings. We're trying to provide some yard space behind some of those buildings. So if, it's an HVAC group and they've got a couple trucks and things like that, that would be more of a buffer from the senior living group next door. As you can see, the senior living does own about a 100-foot plus or minus buffer space behind them, but we want to try and be as accommodating and good neighbors as possible and keep business operations and things further away from them. So you'll see that when we come back to the preliminary plan, how we've laid that out. Again, addressing kind of the traffic issue. Andrew, you did a great job showing the future transportation plan. That 180 east going north-south, we are in communication with those landowners, and some of them are sellers right now. Some of them do want to participate in at least the road construction, and so that is an ongoing effort to at least get the road all the way through to the north. And then there's that other east-west road. I think it's about 1150 north, something like that. We are working through that to get a utility connection through there. So we are really trying to alleviate the traffic impact that it'll have on 1000 North, pushing people east, west, and north to get out of there as kind of the additional access points in the project. Any questions on what I've shown here, what I've shared? Again, our intent is to receive your recommendation of approval to move forward to City Council on the rezone, and hope to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant from the commission?
I do have a quick comment, Chairman.
Commissioner Hamilton.
I like that you guys listened to what we said in our last meeting about the senior living center and then the traffic off that road, and you made adjustments. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Any further discussion items from the commission? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
Mr. Chairman, I move forward a positive recommendation to the City Council for the Fire Station Business Park zoning map amendment request by Boyd Brown, representing Grow Development LLC, to rezone 11.7 acres from RR5 residential to the LI Light Industrial Zoning District, application number 202-5054, based on the findings listed in the staff report dated June 6, 2025.
I'll second that.
Wow. Motion made by Commissioner Sloan. Commissioner Hamilton gets first right to the second because he's first. Any discussion on that motion? If not, we'll take it to a vote. Commissioner Gossett.
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor.
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Jensen.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Chair also votes aye. That moves forward with a positive recommendation, 7-0. Next on the agenda, public hearing.
Thank you for sticking with it.
Next, public hearing and decision on a conditional use permit request to authorize the use of automobile sales and rentals for the property located at 950 North Main Street in the GC zoning district. Mr. Agard.
Thank you, Chairman. This is an application for a conditional use permit to authorize automobile sales and rental in the space highlighted in red on the aerial photograph. It is proposed to be located in a new commercial building that was constructed behind the Mountain West Ambulance Facility. Located behind there is a relatively new flex space similar to what the previous applicant was talking about. The applicant would like to do vehicle sales in one of the spaces available there. The property is zoned general commercial, and as you can see by the zoning map, as is everything surrounding the property. This is a plan provided by the applicant. He proposes to sell 4 or 5 cars, and the cars will be displayed inside the structure, as kind of indicated on the diagram there. The owner of the facility has dedicated 5 parking stalls just north of his tenant spaces for customer and employee parking. He anticipates that he'll have 2 employees there. With a dealership this small, staff does not anticipate you'll have more than 1 or 2 customers at a time. So there shouldn't be any issue in regards to the parking. The vehicles are going to be displayed for sale inside the facility. This is an image of the structure itself. The applicant is proposing to occupy the space located far east on the building, basically highlighted by that big red arrow. Staff doesn't really have any concerns with what he's proposing. It's zoned for it. The facility is ready for it. So we are recommending approval with the basic conditions listed in your staff report. And this does require a public hearing. Notices were sent out to adjacent property owners. We have not received any feedback in regards to this application. So that's the presentation. We're recommending approval. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer it for you. I believe the applicant is here as well, if you have any questions for them.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Agard. Any questions from the commission for staff? If not, we'll go through the same procedure as last time. We'll have the public hearing. If anyone wants to come forward, they can do so now. We'll open the public hearing. And just like that, we're going to close the public hearing. If the applicant wants to come forward and address their item, now's their time to do so. You don't have to, though. It's up to you guys.
I wouldn't want to talk to us either.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant since they're sitting out there from the commission? If not, we'll bring this back for any further discussion or a motion.
I'll do a motion.
Commissioner Proctor.
I move we approve the conditional use request by Ken Fernandez to authorize the use of automobile sales and rental at 948 North Main Street, Suite B, application number 2025052, based on findings and subject to the conditions listed in staff report dated June 6, 2025.
I'll second.
Well done, Kelly. There's a motion to approve from Commissioner Proctor, a second from Commissioner Anderson. Any discussion on the motion? If not, we'll take this to a vote. Commissioner Gossett.
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor.
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Jensen.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Chair also votes aye. That is approved 7-0. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Good luck.
Next, our city council reports. Council Member Hanson, welcome. The floor is yours.
You guys don't get me very often, but I don't know if that's on. Is this on? Yeah,
Barely.
you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, our last city council meeting was mostly just housekeeping stuff and that kind of thing. There was no specifics there. Got a new library cards, raising out-of-town fees, things like that. But I think the council meeting before this, the item about the 249 East of 1000 North came up, and we did have a 4 to abstain vote on that just because I was concerned about some of the things that are allowed in the light industrial area, but I do like what his plan is. The concern I still do have, though, is that them other things are allowed. So, but we'll see how that goes. But it looks like a good project, really, overall. You guys have any questions for me?
I think those are my concerns as well, but I think we're good. We'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, we make good and bad decisions, so yeah.
Yep.
And hopefully most of them all turn out good.
Right.
All right. Nothing
Okay.
for me?
No
Okay.
questions. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next, the review and decision on the minutes for the meeting held on the 28th of May, 2025. Any corrections or fixes for those minutes? If not, I will move that we approve the minutes for the meeting held on May 28, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that motion? We'll take that to a vote. Commissioner Gossett.
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor.
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Jensen.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Chair also votes aye. Those minutes are approved 7-0. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned.
Kelly and I are on the same page tonight.
I don't know who